The truth. The truth is, this is important, but the truth is, I made the best sidecars in the world. The truth.
What's that? Tsushima trailer look like?
Dude, it was honestly so cool, but we're live.
We're live?
We're live.
Fuck, dude, I was gonna look it up.
Watch it after this.
I should have fucking... Shit, dude.
So, what is going on, passengers? This is your conductor, the Blind Prophet. I'm joined by
Big
Big
Easy.
Easy.
I'm here a lot of the time, every time.
We just finished watching, in my opinion, probably the most underrated show, even though it's highly rated.
Highly rated, but technically underrated because we never fucking heard about it.
We've never heard of it.
Not even on social media.
Yeah, most highly underrated show on Netflix, Sense8. And, I mean, dude, like we said, we were just blown away. Like,
It was a really good first season, like really, really good first season. And the second season was even better, except it was rushed at the end and sadly canceled.
yeah, I mean, obviously we know that the cancellation was due to the high, budget needed to make that show. They were all shot on location wherever they were. So if you were following Wolfgang, he was in Berlin. If you were following Kala and Rajan, they were in...
We should also state for people who don't know about Sense8.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, we didn't even get into that.
Yeah.
So, Sense8
Talk about all these
takes...
characters before people... Who the fuck's...
Yeah, who's Kala? Yeah, so Sense8 takes place in modern day. It's within modern day times, and you follow 8... they call them Sense8s, which...
Very on the nose to the title.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Sense8, they're all
Sense8s, yeah. Which basically means they can telepathically, like, not just communicate with each other, but like experience
It's more than telepathy because they can physically feel each other. So they're literally... There's 8 people across the world, all around the globe, and they can just... Basically, even one of the characters talked about it, it's telepathy, but they can physically see each other, visit each other's lives, see their memories, feel their feelings.
I mean, there was that scene with Will and Riley where they're in the ambulance and like Will, he gets the stomach from being pregnant and he's like, whoa, what's going on? Because she's like reliving her pregnancy. But yeah, I mean, wow. Like, everybody's talked about Stranger Things. Everybody's talked about, all the Marvel, Netflix stuff. Everybody's talked about
Punisher, Luke Cage.
Yeah, but
not Iron Fist, but the Defenders.
This one, man, I feel nobody's talked about it, and they really should because it's
and again, like I told you, it was one of the original Netflix originals.
Yeah,
I didn't. One of the first few.
I didn't know about that. I mean, because I haven't. I don't have Netflix. You have it, so we always watch it. And so we watched the Stranger Things, and it was cool. Like it had a really.
It was 80s.
Yeah, it had a really like original sort of concept, but with that like super 80s vibe. And then we watched what do you call it? That wasn't an original.
The 100?
Yeah, the 100 because that was CW. But
did we watch the 100 after Stranger Things?
No, we watched the 100 before then.
Yeah. It was 100 Stranger Things.
But even the movie like we watched. What was it? Mute. Was it Mute? Yeah, Mute.
Yeah, Mute.
Mute. Outsider. And like even those, nobody's talked about those, and those are really good. But Sense8,
yeah, I never heard of Mute, but this is all about Sense8 and how great of a show it is and how you should watch it. And it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It was such a great show. And in the second season, they were building up this big world of the archipelago, the BPO, all the other Sense8s.
Stuff that really needs to be fleshed out.
And then it because they were forced to give closure of a season finale. They just had to just Thanos.
Yeah.
Cut all that in half.
Run from it. Dread it. Destiny still arrives.
The pizza will arrive.
Yeah, so obviously the biggest thing about this show though is the characters. I mean, you follow them throughout the whole show and they're just all so fleshed out so well, and they're all represented so well, and not just their culture, but one of the coolest things is their sexual orientations. My favorite character, Lito, he's in Mexico, some part of Mexico, and he's an actor within Mexico, but he's gay, and
he's closeted.
He's closeted, like super closeted. He uses women as fronts to make sure that people think he's got a very active dating life, and he ends up using one girl as a front, and she finds out that he's gay and he has this boyfriend that he keeps at home, but she's totally cool with it, and she's so down, and there's stuff that ends up going on, but they all get so beautifully fleshed out where they feel like real people. They don't feel like the whole thing right now that's going on within a lot of film and TV, where you have this social justice warrior complex where they have to represent themselves, but very
in your face,
and
palm to nose.
Yeah, this was just so beautiful. You want to give Lito a hug, you want to, and even the other one.
You want to be his friend because he's so fucking cool and hilarious.
Yeah,
and charismatic.
Oh god, and Nomi, she's a transgender in San Francisco, and she's got a girlfriend, and they're super total gay pride, but
and the actress is also
the actress
transgender.
She's also transgender. One of the directors
is also transgender.
She's transgender. So it's just really well representation, where again it's not in your face, super bold, solo, equal rights. It's really well done, and probably one of my favorite things about the show, because a show is never gonna be as good as your characters. If your characters are top notch, it doesn't matter what content you're putting. They could have started some crazy stuff, which they did, and the characters were just fleshed out, so you just followed them on their. And again, the Ringer character, freaking Bug. Bug is one of Nomi's what childhood, adolescenthood friend?
Old childhood, yeah, because she said that she's hacked old hacker best friend.
Old hacker best friend.
She said that she knew him when she was 10.
Yeah,
when she was a he.
So he kind of seemed creepy and
yeah. Oh, he seemed very I come up very upfront.
You're hot now.
He seemed like he was gonna be a creepazoid. Oh my god, why'd you take a picture of my girlfriend? All creepy, and then they would have to run away from him. But no, they didn't do all that drama bullshit. He was just fucking weird.
He was just a genuinely weirdly cool guy.
The language of love.
Yeah, he knew every language for some reason. He was what do you call it?
He spoke Spanish.
He was the Christoph Waltz of this show. Yeah. But yeah, oh my god, and
yeah, this has got to be a thoughts and conclusions video, because
we're not gonna do a whole hour. No.
There's so much.
It's really, honestly, this video or podcast is just I more so wanted to bring more light to the show because again, are they still trying to petition to?
I think the petition was for the series finale.
Series finale, so
Yeah.
it's done.
It's probably most likely done, but fucking
Yeah.
who knows? 4 years from now, it could be rebooted, but it probably won't be the same because all the actors will be so aged. But they could make it work. Who knows? They'll probably change Caffey's again.
that was one of the biggest downsides for me for the second season.
It's never good when they change a character, especially when you already like them with the whole Van Damme.
He was so cool, and Van Damme, and we had just started getting into Jean-Claude with Bloodsport. Like Big Easy hadn't seen Bloodsport, and my whole family got on him for that. But yeah, it was just so funny. Hey, Capheus is a character. He's not in Kenya. I think he's in
Nairobi.
Nairobi. He's in Nairobi, and he drives a.
Kenya is like the other province or whatever.
Yeah, so he drives. What is that called?
Bus?
Yeah, they call it something.
Like the actual
a motutu or something like that.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like a motutu.
It's just a bus. To me.
Yeah, so he and it's called the Van Damme, and he believes in the spirit of Jean-Claude, and he loves watching Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies, and he gets replaced in the second season. He was so cool, and the second guy doesn't do a bad job. It's just hard to see an established character replaced like that. Like, and the way they tried to play it off was so cheesy. Like the new guy, he's bald, and the other one he had hair, but his best friend was like, "Man, you're looking kind of different these days."
You broke out.
Yeah, but everyone was, and even the main characters' side characters were fleshed out too, like Wolfgang's best friend that he knew since he was very young, and
Felix,
the girlfriend of Nomi, and Bug, and then Hernando and Danny, Lito's boyfriend, and the front girl. Like they're all just so fleshed out, and you grow to really care about these characters, and when they all get together, it's almost like the Avengers. Like, it just has that feeling of like, oh my god, they're just unstoppable. And
there was some really good character development.
Yeah, I would even say with Milton too, the main bad guy,
really?
Whispers. I would say too, because they showed a lot of his weakness, and that's always such a cool thing to see with a bad guy. Like, he wasn't just, I'm gonna just.
I'm just an asshole.
I'm gonna take you down. You're gonna go down, and it's over. Like,
I'm doing it. Why? I'm doing it.
Yeah, like they didn't start to show that till like way later, and even in this episode, they really, the last one they really showed a lot more of the weakness. But yeah, the one character that I would say I did not like though was Jonas by Naveen Andrews. He just seemed like there.
Yeah.
And he only really did anything at this episode, the last one.
His role was very, had potential in the first season, and then in the second season, he was just absent, mostly, because he was, killed. And then he comes back at the end, so, when I was helping you, I pushed out, and I'm helping them now. Yeah. So,
and they're like, "Oh, we can't trust you. What can you do to make us trust you?" And he's like, "You're just gonna have to take a leap of faith."
I play Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. So
Odyssey.
Yeah, he was one that but
probably the weakest.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it's a good show. It's. It's a good show.
You're gonna hear a lot of it's a good show.
It's a good show.
It's a really good show.
Man, I mean, dude, I was ready to cry at the end. Like, it just...
I know, me too. And especially when it says, like, for our fans.
Yeah. It's like, wow, they really
pulled
took
it
that.
off.
Yeah, they took that time to just finish it. Like, it felt the very last episode before it's episode 11. That's the episode before episode 12, which just came out Friday.
The 8th.
Yeah, so Friday. It should have been Friday. Yeah, so Friday. They just released episode 12, which is the finale.
The series finale. That's what it's called.
And
the series finale, parentheses.
They episode 11 is like it's like boom. Everything just comes to like a screeching.
The pacing for it was like really good up until the end. Right, like literally the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Are very
really
obviously
cool.
rushed. It's really
awesome,
cool,
but it's just like
because
whoa.
it's so fast, it kind of loses it trips over its momentum a little bit. Like with Will being in the interrogation room, and he's actually in the interrogation room. Like you go from regular pace, build up to I got a plan, and then all of a sudden, Whispers is walking in.
But the weird thing about that plan is like throughout the show, whenever they do a plan, it goes back and forth between them planning it and them actually doing it. Well, this one it was just them doing it. Yeah, there was no like real planning. It kind of threw you for a loop.
That whole part was probably planned for a next episode, but that's where they probably lost their funding.
They probably did a crap ton of editing, and just tried to figure out where it would fit.
Oh man!
But
it like when we watched it, it was happening so fast that we were processing it, and when the episode ended, we were like, oh wait, that's cool, but wait,
yeah,
that was really fast.
Yeah, it's
'cause it was that whole part where he's actually there in the room. And just beats his shit, and he's like, "Oh my god, you're here!" That's awesome.
Yeah, he's like, those blockers won't do you any good. Like I'm actually here.
Yeah,
he's something. Yeah, and it's oh my god.
He flips the table, beats his ass.
Yeah, acting was 9.5 out of 10. Like there's some parts where sometimes it gets a little cheesy. I think. Nomi and Amanita's relationship was like, not that it was overplayed, but it's just like they say I love you a lot, like, and they kiss a lot.
I think that's kind of supposed to be their characters. Like they're just stupidly in love with each other.
It's like
Amanita's been through some shit with her, and she's still with her. So I think after seeing that, It makes more sense for them to be very
I mean they have a dope relationship, but it's just like there's some parts where it's like, okay, let's do it, let's go, let's
oh my god, away.
But acting was up there. The cinematography
was stupid good,
was ridiculously good. After we watched that Miss Mojo video, and they said that there was no like post-production, like
it was all smoke and mirrors magic.
Yeah, there's scenes where like they turn and like all of them are there in the room, and then like oh my god, it was like to hear that, because I'm thinking like, all right, yeah, they probably just did like some post-production.
Yeah, just some.
But for the most part, for about a good 75 to 80% of it, it's all camera work. And that's ridiculous. Like, that's so cool.
And they actually flew everywhere.
They actually flew everywhere. What did they say? Like 250,000
miles in total
under each of their belts. Oh god, I can't imagine that.
That's a lot of money in a year.
Yeah, I could only imagine. Like, yeah, they must have had a lot of either books that they read or something movies that they watched for all those plane flights.
Those, because they're called what, the Wachowski?
Wachowskis, yeah.
I keep hearing them be called the Wachowski brothers. Do you still call them the brothers? Or?
I didn't even know that. I know it's the Russo brothers that did the Avengers, but I've never heard the Wachowski brothers.
Yeah, they.
Because again, we've never heard of the show.
When we first watched it, the sets that they were actually filming on looked too real for me to be like, oh, that's a really convincing set. I was like, the whole time I was like, that looks real. That looks like India. That looks kind of like Berlin. It was very gray. It's like all of Europe though. And there was Chicago, just everywhere. It's so authentic, and they filmed in actual crowds too.
Yeah,
like
what was it? The gay pride.
In San Francisco and in Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, yeah.
I'm going to Sao Paulo.
Yeah, that's man. So I don't know what more to say. Like
we just finished watching.
We just finished it like 2 or 3 hours ago.
We're still processing all of it. This is just very spontaneous. But fuck, is it a really good show? It breaks my heart to see all like the potential just sadly
get buried. It's like friends that you're not gonna see for a long time. Like you just left college or some shit, and like you're never gonna see them again.
I would have really liked to see what they would have done with the archipelago, with that fucking weird chick that Wolfgang was going up against.
Do you
BPO
think
and
maybe instead of bringing it back with the characters that we have right now, they could show like a show like of the beginning of like people finding out like this power? Because it'd probably be easier to do like if they were to do like
the beginning of the power is like the beginning of just people, because they're called Homo sensients.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would think back like with the Elsa Dowie lady. That makes sense.
No, I'm only thinking like based on filming, because that was their biggest problem. That's why it's canceled, is because like it was so expensive to film. Like if they were to do it like at the beginning, maybe they could do like more set pieces that would be less flying. Like they could do, I don't know, like it just, dude, I hate to see it go. Like just all those characters, they're like so dope. But
Kala never died. No one really died.
No one died. Spoiler alert. There was a close call.
Awesome orgy at the end.
It wasn't really an orgy. It wasn't
really an orgy, but
everybody. I mean, like everybody got something.
They telepathically fucked each other while they're fucking their best mate.
Dude,
you know?
I totally called it with freaking Kala. Like, I was so confused for so long. Like
I thought he just like didn't know, but then there was just a part where Carl's in the room. It was just. Hey, look, you see that guy? And Wolfgang's just cheesing on the fucking bed. Hey, big boy. He's just tapping the bed with his hand. And they get on, and he's like, oh, I did not know there were such things.
Yeah, that was so cool. Like, it wasn't afraid to like take those types of leaps and again represent very well. Like, again, we talked about it in the solo. Like, we have no discrimination against female empowerment or LGBTQ. I forget all the other parts of the acronym. But like like I loved seeing this in the show because like it felt real. It felt real. Like it was very well represented. Like I mean, like I say, Leto was my favorite character, and he was gay. Like, I don't have a problem against it. I just don't like, again, like in Solo, which is the newest one that we saw. Like, it's just so in your face, so blatant.
And it wasn't trying to demonize people who were like, I'm not for gays. You're a fucking freak for being gay. It was just like people didn't react well to it. Like, how do I say that?
For what? For what?
Well, like when Leto came out, and then he got all the backlash and all that shit, and all the people were talking.
Well, within Mexico, I mean,
yeah, it makes sense, but it wasn't demonizing them, like fucking making them like go to his house and try to stab him.
But what was cool about that is when he came out, it was like when he came out and people were against him, like it was everybody's problem was kind of felt like that, like Nomi and her mom, and like, you know, not accepting her. And then, what do you call it? Sun, and like, you know, her going through her stuff, and who was it? Kala, and like just everybody like felt it, and I think that was one of the coolest too. Like, not because it was cool, but like because it was shown, and that's obviously a problem is with Nomi's mom, like constantly calling her Michael, because that was her birth name, and just that part with her dad, and when he's like, you know, get your hands off my daughter, and she starts having a moment because that's the first time he's called her his daughter. Like that was really cool, because again, it feels real, it feels natural, it feels like something that would, you know, happen,
and it doesn't overplay like music segments either. Like when that emotional moment happened where he called her his daughter, it wasn't like, whoa!
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was just to the point, little some subtle hums.
Yeah.
There was a lot of music. I like the music choices for this, especially the "What's Up" song, where it was like,
yeah, the music was very fitting for a lot of stuff. Like, I love how this one opens up with 99 Love Balloons. That was so cool. That's an 80s song. But yeah, I can't talk any more about it. You guys just gotta go watch it.
Go watch it. Go post on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Fucking, this show's great. Please more. Just let the government fund it.
Let the government fund it. Let BPO fund it.
Would you rather it stop here or continue on like The Walking Dead?
I think with how they stopped it would feel unnatural for them to go on. Like it wrapped everything up so beautifully, and I mean that ending, like I can't believe you said that, but that ending, I mean, you were right. Like it brings everything to a close. Tell them what you said about what you got from it.
Oh, with the with the dildo, with the strap on.
Yeah,
I really liked. Okay,
demonetized.
I don't know why I noticed it so quick, but when Nomi and Amanita finally get married, they're all fucking in shit. They're getting ready to do it, and when we're first introduced to Nomi and Amanita, Nomi's getting plowed by this strap-on by Amanita, and it's pretty great. And in the final episode of the series, Nomi's the one plowing Amanita.
And that's the final shot.
And the final shot is the wet rainbow dildo. Out of that big Roman orgy, just slowly pans out, fade to black. What a fucking beautiful thing.
The wedding at the end, I just realized that it kind of felt like the way that everybody was there, it felt like the Deadpool's wedding, like how all the Marvel characters were there.
Oh.
Like, dude, like, I still can't believe when we're also first introduced to Amanita and Nomi, they're in San Francisco, and they have these like two guys dancing around them. They're all dressed up,
yeah,
like gay pride, like, you know.
They're wearing like a fairy outfit.
Yeah, well, they're there at the wedding wearing the same outfits, and it's all the way in France on the Eiffel Tower. So it's just,
and they were in the middle of somewhere in fucking San Francisco eating edibles.
Yeah, they brought the edibles to the wedding too, but it's just. Yeah, they totally wrapped it up. There's no way that it would really naturally come together unless they did something beforehand. Like, that's the only way I think they could naturally bring it back. Is it like a prequel?
Man, it sucks to see it go.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what everybody else does projects on. Like
I'm interested in seeing what they do next.
The
Wachowskis.
The Wachowskis.
Because they did a really good job.
And I mean they're really good film
and
makers.
The girl with the hair, she was the writer.
Oh, she was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, like, again, that cinematography was just ridiculous. And I go nuts over cinematography. Like, there's times we'll be watching something like, oh my god, that was a dope shot. Like, and there was just so much of this in this show that I couldn't even say, oh my god.
The fist fighting was a little, like, choreographically choreographed. Yeah,
I mean, there was that one part where I was like, oh my god, that was so choreographed. Like,
yeah.
You had said something like I mocked you by saying it was choreographed, but at the same time, like, I can't really get mad at that because, like, you can just, there's so many excuses with them all being connected. Like, you could just say, oh, because Sun has so much training, like, obviously it would look very, professional, and again, like, they kind of poke at it too. Like, there's a part where Will starts speaking French to one of, Riley, who's another character, one of her connects, and he starts speaking French. She's like, "Oh, you know how to speak French now?" And he's like, "No, but you do." Like, there's a lot of excuses, being that they're all connected. But goddamn, damn good show.
Damn good show, Watson.
Yeah,
it's gonna bug me because it's like one more.
I have a
Shoes
fever.
me.
Shoes me. Put shoes on me.
Like,
I have a fever. And the only prescription is
I saw like 2 more seasons happening with like the archipelago again, like all that potential with like all the connects of the sensates that are in, like they have like their whole little order going on with that old lady. I forgot what the Sancratorium or something.
It's something, yeah. A bunch of monks or something.
Yeah, and the ancient one from from Doctor Strange.
Yeah, she was totally in there.
Just all of that was it was put in line from like a foot to like 3 inches.
What do you think was your favorite part of the whole show?
Oh fuck! Of the whole show? Oh god. Action wise, probably when God, there's so many. I have to like divert them into like
I think
comedy.
I'm really not
romance.
basing off of like a genre, but like
because there's just so many I like.
I think my favorite part, which is where like you really start to feel the intensity of like what's going on for the characters, is when like Will's dad starts to like
I was just thinking like, about
like,
Will's dad.
Will, come home, like just come home, and he's like, are you drinking? And he's like, what do you care? You're not even here. Just come home.
It
like
was
it just
really sad.
Yeah, it just oh my god.
I felt some emotionals.
Yeah, I don't know why that stuck with me, but like. Will's dad is played by I don't even know if they get that, but like he's played by the guy that was eating the steak in Matrix. God damn it, what's his name?
This was also the same directors that did Matrix and Babylon 5.
Yeah. So he obviously worked with them before. But yeah, that part.
I really liked like Leto and the whole bartending shit.
Oh. I make the best sidecars.
I make the best sidecars in the world. Or something like that.
Yeah.
God, Leto is a really hard character to beat.
He's
just so fun to watch. Every time he's on screen, it's just
Joe Pantoliano. plays Cypher in The Matrix, and he plays Will's dad in what do you call it? Oh, Sense8. But yeah, I don't know why that just stuck with me. Like it like that's where you really start to feel like this is getting real. Other than that, yeah, like I think another dope part is when Sun is fighting with the detective. Like that just felt so like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Like,
yeah.
Just
we talked about that. When it was happening.
So I think that was also another really cool
the
part.
relationship was a little rushed in the final.
It was, but I mean, really, I don't see it being any slower. Like that freaking Skype call that they had was like so weird. Like
on a burner phone.
Yeah, on a burner phone. That was god.
He traced. I like that detail that she didn't throw it out or break it because it's a burner. You're supposed to toss it or break it. That's why they're like $10, $20 and you use them.
And the Buckster brought him.
Bug is also fun to watch because he's always just cheesy.
He's I feel like he's like our character. Like he's like while we're watching the show, he's us. Like when they tell Rajan what's going on and he's looking at everybody. He's like. Yeah, like,
everyone's like, and
he's like, yeah. He was totally cool. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like I really don't like saying that I have a favorite character because they just you can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
But Leto obviously is the one that stood out to me. And then his mom, oh my god.
His mom was fucking rad.
I felt so, like,
I was
that
so
emotion.
relieved.
Yeah, she's
what
like,
what a fucking amazing show where we also feel relieved with the character.
Yeah, like, he comes out to his mom, and the way that they set it up is, like, she looks like she's gonna be, like a bitch about it. Like, she looks all high class, like, you know, just... She looks like she's going to take it like Nomi's mom. Like, she's going to be all just rejective about it. And she starts reading something on some newspaper, and she's like, you know, all my friends are coming at me and telling me about this. And then she's like, you couldn't tell your own mother? And he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, she says something, and she
says, I've always known. And he's like, you did?
Yeah.
And she's like, there's no boy that dances that.
Yeah. She was just so cool about it.
She also said some shit like, now I know who the real friends are or some shit. Because no one came to the party that she was throwing for, like, Christmas.
Yeah.
Happy fucking New Year. That's what the episode was.
Again, like I say, like, you can't have one of those characters. Obviously, besides the jobber bad guys that, you know, they take out, but... You can't have one of those characters without the other. Because, again, they're all connected. Like, they're connected not just within story, but even mind. So, like, their characters complement each other because they help build each other. So...
I was really happy to see that even with all the characters actually there, that it didn't lose its characteristic. Because, like... A part of like the whole basis of the show is that they're all around the world.
Yeah.
But
and once they got together, like that power really wasn't necessary.
Yeah,
because there's that one part where Riley's visiting Kala, and then like 2 seconds later she just opens the door. So, but yeah, again, like I say, like it almost felt like the Avengers, like just having that team up of all of them come together. Just oh god. So
I really like the dad, Riley's dad. He was so sweet.
He was cool.
I'm so glad Odysseus didn't fucking kill.
Yeah, Odysseus from what was it, Troy, Rise of an Empire or something?
The show that didn't do too great.
Yeah, don't watch that show.
I need to read the Iliad to really know if it's like
all
accurate.
All I know off of the Iliad is Troy. I mean, I read the Odyssey in freshman year, but we never read the Iliad.
Really?
Yeah.
I read it in 8th or 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah, my history teacher was really into Greek and
I've always been into Greek. Like Greek mythology and like Greek history.
Oh, what was
it?
Hinduism as well. We learned a lot about Hinduism and Greek folklore.
Yeah, but he was probably one of the low parts for me too. Like he felt like kind of in the way, like just one
the
of
dad.
Those, no, the what do you call it? Odysseus.
Oh yeah,
I just felt like
he was cool in the beginning, and then he came back
cool,
and was like, "Where's my money?"
He was all like cool guy, like he had that like almost like what do you call it? Like yoga, like aura, like people are like connected. Like he just had that coolness to him, and then he just becomes like a dick.
And they were building it where he was like, maybe is this guy like one of the other characters? But no, he's just a drug lord.
And then freaking Puck, the Australian sensei.
Oh yeah, Puck, the fucking guy that changes his hair to whatever girl he sees.
He was crazy.
He was so random.
He was cool though. Like he just had that like he was almost like Bug like in a way. Like
but he was actually creepy.
He had that weird creepiness to him. Yeah.
The fucking wig of sun.
All right, I think that pretty much.
There's so much that we would talk about, but
we'll just drag it on. We'll just be screeching. I really don't know what else to talk about other than to just recommend it. It's a really good show.
It's a shame it ended too early, but it did a good job. Filling in the last ditch or whatever. I don't know which metaphor to use for that.
What?
Finishing it off.
I don't even remember. It ties together really well. So
I'll dream about it.
Yeah.
Fanfic.
So again, please, if you have Netflix, watch it. It's
don't run from it.
Don't run from it. Don't dread it. Destiny.
It's here.
It already arrived.
It's free. I mean, if
you have the membership.
Yeah.
It's
you won't there won't be a DLC paywall.
So, all right, passengers.
We're docking.
Please, if you have seen the show and you agree or disagree with anything that we've said, please leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the show, and just who your favorite character was. We'd really like to know and
talk
keep the
about
conversation going. Yeah,
talk about it.
So, thank you, and good Buenos noches again. I don't know how we start with like what's going on, Pastor. But how should we end it? Leave a comment. Hit that bell notification icon.
Buy your tickets next time. I don't know.